Labels are a typical go-to for noting things on a plan, including materials. But if a material selection changes, you'll now need to go through your drawings and manually update each of the different labels, which can get you into a little bit of trouble if you miss one. This is where having a materials legend can come in handy. So if there is a change, you only have to update it in one place, which saves time, manual work, and any potential mistakes. They're actually pretty easy, and I'll show you how they work. Then we'll set one up step by step. For our example of a material change, let's select all of our brickwork and we'll change it to a different material. Let's say this material just here. All of our bricks have changed. If we go back into our elevations, it's updated automatically on every elevation, but it hasn't changed in our material legend just yet. This is pretty easy to change. If we just go to the materials legend and open up the view, we can select the face brickwork and then go to the surface, and we can change this one to match up with the surface we just selected. Let's go back out onto our page and it's automatically updated. From here on my other pages, let's say I go to this one just here, the elevations have updated and the material legend has also updated, which saves a massive amount of time running around all the different elevations, changing all the text. This isn't to say there isn't a place for labels, but this is a workflow that I find helps alleviate a lot of the manual work. To be honest, I'm not particularly partial to that brick selection, so let's just undo all that, go back to our elevations and all updates again. Now, to set this up, it's actually pretty straightforward. If we just go to our project map, all I've done is I've just created a detail. So if you scroll on down till you get to details, I'll double click on my legend that I've created, and I've used text and the fill tool. I'll create one just here just to give a quick little example. Let's say 900 by 900. With the fill that we just created selected, instead of drafting fill, we'll just go through to surface/cover fill, and then we'll just select the fill type. So to match up with the brickwork that we have, we just go to, say, this brick natural white, and there we go. Now to take this and place it onto your actual page, still very easy. We'll just go up to window, we'll go to palettes and go organizer. Let me just minimize a couple of these ones just here. We're going to be going from our project map to our view map. So we'll just drag and drop this one on over. This is going to create a view. And from here, we can change what scale it's going to show on the page, as well as the pen sets that are used. So now what I can do, I can go to view map on this left-hand side, and I can go to my layout book, which is going to be my page on the right-hand side here. I'll double click on the elevations that we had set up earlier. We could also just do this on a blank page, but for the sake of this example, let's just drag and drop that view that we've just created onto the page. There we go. Now, if the scale was different, I've currently got it 1 to 100, but if I had it say 1 to 50 and we fit that to the drawing frame, let's zoom out, it might be a little bit too big. So just keep scale in mind when you are creating these. Scale's edited just by right clicking, view settings, and then changing scale just here. Let's just change that back to 1 to 100 and we'll go okay. But to create the materials so that they match up with the actual drawing, there's a couple of different ways we can do this. If we go down to the construction method and we adjust these little anchors just here, let's say we adjust to 2000, say by 2000, we can change the size. This is adding more manual work in, but to save the legwork of manually adjusting the fill, there's a little trick that I picked up that's going to save us a bunch of time. If we go to our elevation and copy it, Control C, go back into our materials legend and open up the source view, which is just going to be our little legend just over here. And we go Control V, pasting it into the view. We'll drag it on over. So this is showing the elevation. We'll deselect the elevation. We'll right click it and then we'll go explode into current view. We'll turn off keep original elements after exploded and we'll just go okay. And from here, it's turned our elevation into individual fills. Let's say I've got this polyline of 800 by say 800. I drag this one on over, creating a duplicate and just sit it down right about here. What I can do, I'll then select over the top of the fills. I'll drag this out, say 2 meters. And then from here, I'll just use the splice tool to cut off the excess that we don't need shown in the legend. Delete this off here, delete this off here, drag this one back on over, and that's the vertical timbers taken care of. Let's do the same thing, but for the brickwork. Let's duplicate our little square. We'll select our brickwork, we'll select the square, we'll drag it down, say 5,000. I'll just select the brickwork. From each of the different sides, I'm just going to crop off the excess. With our brickwork created, let's bring this one on up just next to our other example. We'll go back to our page, and just to check if the scale lines up, let's bring it over to our drawing. Let's pull back this edge just here. If we line it up nice and close, we'll see that our little trick has worked. Looks like this one might have needed a little bit of an update, but we can do this for other areas and not just the materials. Say if we know that all of our windows and doors are going to be aluminium or say timber, we can go in and we can take a small slice of this area and then we can just show it on the materials legend. That way, if we change the gutter profile or the window material, we just change it in one place and it updates on every drawing. Now, one last thing, once we do have the material legend created, I typically like to place it up in this top right-hand corner here, and then we can copy it and paste it onto the other pages. We'll go original location and paste. This one's got a title. Let's turn that off. Let's zoom in. This way, when we change in one place, it'll change everywhere. because it's all referencing back to the one detail. One thing to watch out for when you are doing a materials legend like this, if we go back through to my first example, I've currently got shadows turned on. This can slightly change the color between the different materials. I like how it gives it extra depth, but it has the potential to confuse things. So at construction stage, I typically turn these shadows off, which is pretty easy. We just go into the source view, select our elevation, go to the elevation settings, scroll on down and turn off shadows, and we will go okay. And it's simple as that. If you'd like to download the models and legends used in this video, be sure to check out my Patreon, which I'll have a link to down below in the description. It's where I put all of my ArchiCAD files, adding new ones with each tutorial. Having access to quality base files saves a massive amount of setup time and stress. I can't recommend it highly enough. For more tutorials, check out this video over here.